Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach. A couple of admin notes at the beginning. Yes, I am going to get back on my medicine for my coffee, and I have medicine. It works pretty good, but you're not supposed to take it all the time. You're supposed to take it for like a couple months and then take a break. And yeah, it's been the increase in the comments of people just like, dude, see a doctor. It's like I've seen many, but yeah, so gonna get back on that. It's just I'm 51. I take a lot of pills. Sometimes I'll go to the doctor. They're like, "Oh, how is this medicine going?" It's like I forgot I had that. I'm taking like 20 things a day. I put that on the counter and I lost track of it. Then they get all mad and up in their feelings. And then this I was gonna say not related, but kind of related, because I'm getting in generally much better health, except for my cough. And one of my dreams is to, and my buddy just did this, go to Camp Pendleton and run, well, maybe hike, First Sergeant's Hill. I have a question. Anyone on active duty, at the base, whatever, is that possible? I'm not on active duty, not on reserve or National Guard. I mean, I have veteran on my driver's license. Is it possible to just be like, hey, I want to go run First Sergeant's Hill? Or are there like events? I mean, this is 20 plus years ago. Actually, before 9/11, sometimes the highway would get blocked blocked with a car wreck, and they would just reroute traffic through Camp Pendleton. I'm sure they don't do that anymore. But I'm guessing there's some sort of events or 5Ks or something, fun run, something. Because I would really like to go up. For people who don't know what First Sergeant's Hill is, it's a hill that overlooks Camp San Mateo over there on the very north side of Camp Pendleton. So anyway, Fantastic Four First Steps came out this weekend. I actually had tickets for Thursday night at the fan showing where they usually give away like a tchotchke. But I forgot that I was going out of town, so I had to return them. I tried to give them away to friends, and everyone was busy, or when they were busy, they weren't disappointed. They weren't like, oh man, they were just like, I'm doing this. So amongst my normie friends, low enthusiasm. Whereas with my normie friends, they were very excited about Superman, especially once the word of mouth hit. But it did good. People generally like it. It's kind of got the same everything. Like the same audience score, critic score, box office, even the international. There was this theory that Superman underperformed because he was deemed to be like a patriotic hero. But it looks like just there's, that's just how superhero movies do overseas these days. I was just remembering something earlier, because I always talk about, like, back in the day, nobody cared about box office, but you know what they did care about? Ratings for TV shows. Because in Starlog and Comic Scene and all the zines, they would always talk about, it's like, every episode of The Flash costs $1 million. And so it can't be like the number 60, in the ratings. So that was always like a lot of stress. Like, oh, it's got to get better ratings. Like nobody cared how much money it made. I know this is kind of apples and oranges. But so you see here with the Fantastic Four First Steps debuts with 118 million domestically. Disney stock slips despite the Fantastic Four First Steps box office win. Fantastic Four First Steps box office officially passes the MCU's biggest. That's dramatic, just left. 4 reasons why Fantastic Four ended Marvel's box office slump. Fantastic Four's success, continuing a staggering box office trend for the MCU. The Fantastic Four, okay, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so it did good. And the usual suspects are doing the usual things. Wope, flop, slop, disappointment. Nobody said disaster. They're soft launching underwhelming, which is a new subjective designation that doesn't mean anything. Like, what was whelming? What was under and overwhelming? But the thing that I'm really happy about is this is what we needed, because it's what we all knew. Even when they're talking and they clearly enjoy it, there's like all this sighing and dramatic pauses and like contradictory. It was too long, but it was, just right. There were too many characters. There weren't enough characters. I'm not talking about different people, like the same people saying that in one video. But the idea is everything has to have some sort of negative tinge to it. So that's why you say stuff like, slop. Oh, what is slop? It's bad. Well, is it woke? It's not woke, but it's slop. Oh, how did it do? It underperformed. To what metric? The people who wanted to fail. You understand. So then you see stuff like this. It's like Simu has as blocked, and as says, I don't feel like doing the voice. Never been more proud of anything in my life. Hey, Simu, where's that sequel, dude? Again, just to reiterate, this is a 50-year-old man who has a entirely one-sided feud with a celebrity, which is a common thing amongst this group with Nerdrotic. It's a corporation or a division of a corporation. I'm still blocked by an entire franchise. Hashtag RIP Star Trek. So this ground has been well trod. It's so funny. People send me links. They're like, hey, Zach, this person's saying what you were saying. It's like, yeah, it's safe to say now. That's what everybody does. Now, it used to be kind of like a standard 5 years. Now it's an undetermined amount of time, but I will say it when it creates a huge hassle for me, a lot of stress, and then months, years, sometimes days. A couple of them have been. Who is that guy? Matt Walsh? Is that Matt Walsh? I said he was a closeted gay man, and everyone's like, yeah, we're not going to fight over this one. We'll concede that one. He is very clearly a closeted gay man. Yeah, so what this was, and I really needed it, and I feel like a lot of other people have noticed the same thing, that Fantastic Four and Superman came out, and the whole build-up, and they said every negative thing in the world, and they spread knowingly spread false rumors that were basically created by these right-wing sites. It's funny when they drop this stuff, as like someone's like, no. They're like, okay, fine, we'll move on to another bit of bullshit. But the thing that's so exciting is I feel like there has been a schism. And now, because before, fake fans and real fans were all mixed together because things were pretty bad 8 years ago in pretty much everything. So when you're like, hey, that's, well, we said SJW, not woke back then. Oh, that's SJW. And everyone would be like, yeah, we don't like SJW comics. The implication was you did like comics that weren't SJW. But now we have tons of them. And again, I've covered this all before. But what I'm saying is, at least for me, this was the end, where it's like they did every single thing we thought they were going to do. Now they're doing like these, like, do you remember Ghostbusters 2016? Yeah, did you notice the year in that? Yeah, almost 10 years ago. So you're really just scraping the bottom of the barrel to complain about woke content. Yeah, that was before the election. Obama was still president. Okay? Long time ago. So I feel like, especially this was the final thing we needed. Just the Superman, and 2 weeks later, the Fantastic Four, and they did every single thing. And now it's very clear. There's a bunch of people, mostly conservative, but not all. I would say mostly unhappy. It's unhappy, mostly middle-aged men. And they just like to hate things. It's strange to me, but I think it's worthy of study. I mean, I mean, you can get I had a friend who was like, you should apply for a grant. And I was like, for what? He's like, for anything. There's so much grant money out there. Just fill out a bunch of grants, and somebody will give you $300,000 to study, I don't know, this, this depressed middle-aged men who love to hate things. But the other thing I notice, and the thing is, I've kind of been formulating a list in my mind, and I didn't write it down, so I'm going to say like 2 or 3 things and then remember like 5 of them afterwards, is whenever they talk, so one of the things they get to say is things got worse, which allows them to, like, they only like stuff from 30 years ago. And it's like that SJW thing. Sorry, that woke people thing. Especially with fake geek girls, where I say they like things that are popular when they're popular because they're popular. This is the male equivalent, except for they were in high school and they liked Jim Lee X-Men. Why? Because everybody did. They liked Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man because everybody did. And now it's very easy to hold on. Like I said, if you're a very online, very political person, choosing culture, pop culture, culture war as your battlefield, that's the easiest point of entry. If you want to argue about politics and sports, you got to know all the rules, you got to know all the players. There's thousands of players in every league or whatever of the different sports, different seasons, their off season, their training. But this is a season that's goes the full year, goes every single day. And all you have to say is like, old Spider-Man was better. Tobey Maguire was better. Old things are better. It's the easiest. It requires no efforts. So one of the things, and a lot of these people are just normies. Like, Drinker is a normie who just fell into this. Drinker literally didn't know that crypto existed. Like, the character of crypto that's been around for decades. It got brought up and he started laughing. And they're like, what? He's like, Superman has a dog? It's like, hey, you're a normie. Actually, I think, at least in America, most normies know about crypto because there was a kind of a popular show, what was it, Cartoon Network? Like 20 years ago? So you were either a parent back then or you were a kid. So there's, probably at least half of America knows about crypto. The super dog. Crypto, the super dog, crypto, it's super dog time. Memorable. But then, like I said, one of the ways that you can say like, oh, I like old things is then you don't have to prove, oh, well, everything after the thing I liked was woke or soy or a flop or slop or disappointing or a disaster or underwhelming. Underwhelming. Yeah. Nothing's ever whelming. Sounds like a Jerry Seinfeld joke. What's the deal with whelming? By the way, this is one of the most dramatic, like, Kaiser Soze moments, was to realize that Jerry Seinfeld is like not funny. That like he's basically you couldn't star in a TV show, with rare exceptions, in the 1980s if you were bald. So they just gave Larry David's comedy to a guy with hair. That was it. It could have been the guy from Police Academy in that role. Although there was, if you see Jerry Seinfeld's comedy from the 1970s, before Larry David basically let him become him, he's not very funny, but he did have one joke that was funny. He was like going to the Smithsonian, and Neil Armstrong's toothbrush was on display, and it said, on loan from the personal collection of, was it Buzz Aldrin? I just said the right name and then I forgot the right name. Whatever. The name I said first. And he's like, let him have the toothbrush. Like, why is it on loan? Just give it to them. That was like a funny joke. But yeah, he's not funny. Anyway, getting back to the usual suspects. So I really feel like it's over. So now I'll get people, it's like, hey, so-and-so did this. It's like, yeah, they be doing that shit. That's what they do. That's what they do. It bothered me before when it was like, I never like felt like, this is a community, this is a movement. But I was like, we all like stuff, right? Like, you used to own a comic book shop. Like, so you would assume that you like comics. But you seem to just like hating everything, and it's not funny, it's not fun. But for depressed people, lonely people, honestly, it feels like it's all they have. And I am not joking around, and I'm trying to be as James Gunn's Superman empathetic about it as possible. I honestly, truly think that the male loneliness epidemic needs to be studied. There needs to be... I've told the story a million times. How my friends socialized me in the Marines because I had bad social skills. I would just butt into conversations and talk about what I wanted to talk about. My buddy is like, hey, it's like jump rope. It's like double dutch. You got to wait for a spot, and then you got to continue the rhythm. I honestly think there are tens of millions of mostly middle-aged, but there's a whole, incel thing with people in their 20s. Like, teach them just like how to make friends, like how to have conversations, how to have interests. I think that's been lost, and it's actually super fucking depressing if you think about it. It's easy to get angry at these people, but how did they get here? Like Joe Rogan always says, like, this person was a baby once. There was all the hope in the world, and now you're 53 and you're like, I'm blocked, but you're like happy about it. Like, this is so there, I had this whole laundry list. It's like they're excited about failure. They will make things failures that aren't failures. They like problems. They like drama. They don't enjoy the actual thing, but they want ownership of it and the fandom. Meanwhile, the rest of us are like, should I go to see Superman a third time? I think I will. I'm okay on Fantastic Four. I'm actually shocked that it made almost as much as Superman. I thought it was going to be 20% less, because that's just not a popular franchise. Whenever someone says like, oh my god, I love Fantastic Four, they're just like Gail Simone. Oh my god, I love Moon Knight. Really? You've never talked about it before. You just like things when they're popular. So, does it have legs? I don't care. I don't work for the studio. Buffo box office! But anyway, I feel like this weight is off my chest. And it's like, oh, these guys were either never fans. Like, how are you 40? You never heard of Crypto, the super dog. Or they were fans, but they were fans in like 1991, when it was mainstream. So you are a mainstream normie who decided that being a comic book guy or like a pop culture guy, this is just a Big Bang Theory sitcom. That's what you are. You are fake geeks. Even if some of them are really good at disguising themselves as real geeks. But anyway, I'm going to end this and I'm going to think of a whole laundry list of things. But it's a moot point, because I'm saying everyone's chosen a side. You are an anti-fan who just gets excited about every problem. I mean, their eyes literally sparkle like anime characters when they talk about someone getting fired or something getting canceled. So, like, there's no, like, oh, no, those guys... Everyone's kind of like, yeah, they be doing that shit. They be doing that shit sometimes. So it doesn't even bother me. It's just like, yeah, that's what they do. They get really excited. Like, who's on Twitter in 2025? You're on Twitter? This person, it's like a person. This was like an intern for this account like 2 years ago. And they're like, hey, should we block people who cause a lot of problems? They're like, yeah. It's like, okay, block. Like, you act like a huge shithead all the time. Why wouldn't they block you? But also, it's not an accomplishment. I'm still blocked by an entire franchise. Hashtag RIP Star Trek. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, I feel very unburdened now. So it's like, oh, those people weren't fans. They didn't want things to get better. They just like when things fail and fall. It's basically a ridiculousness. Do you remember like the first few seasons when it was just like super blurry, low resolution, videos from Russia of people getting legitimately injured. It's just that. They just like when people fall down and get hurt. It's America's funniest home videos. It's ridiculousness. It's that type of show. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.